Okay, I was asked to do problem 2A, but there is no 2A, so I'm doing problem 12A. Um, so, let me mute that. Sorry. So we're going to go to screen sharing real quick. I think that's this one. Chat, screen share. And I'm going to show you the problem. There it is, Wiley Plus. Okay, so the problem is Laverne purchased a new piece of equipment to be used in its new facility. The $350,000 piece of equipment was purchased with $52,500 down payment and with cash received through issuance of a $297,500 7% 5-year mortgage payable issued on January 1st, 2017. The terms provide for annual installment payments of $72,557 on December 31st. Okay, so the first thing you do is you're going to want to put your principal balance here. What I did was I did a little Excel spreadsheet, which made things a little bit easier. What you start out is with your principal balance over here by your principal on your issue date. The down payment thing is a little bit confusing, but it doesn't really matter. What the loan is on this principal balance. So you put the principal balance of $297,500 in that box because the rest of it, the down payment basically doesn't matter in the loan itself. And you are figuring the principal and interest on the loan itself. Your cash payments are always going to be this $72,557. That was in the problem itself up here. So what you can do is take this corner of this box and drag it down through the 5 years because that's always going to stay the same. Your interest expense. What I did here is up here in this corner, your formula bar, you can put equals E2, which is this number right here, the principal balance, times 0.07, because that's your 7% interest. That's how much you're going to calculate for interest expense. And that comes out to $20,825. So you can drag down that formula and it will repopulate that in each of these E4. It figures out to look at this number right here. Okay, so reduction of principal is the formula for that would be B3. So this number right here minus, this number right here minus this number right here. See B and then row 3. So your cash payment minus your interest is going to be your principal. And so you just put equals B3 minus C3, and that will give you $51,732 as your reduction of principal. As you can see, I copied that in over here. The formula that you're going to want to put in this one is E2, which is this number, minus D3, or your principals. So you want to have your principal balance minus the principal that you paid this year is the additional principal that you have left. This is the principal after your payment. And that gives you this number, 24,000 or 245,768. And that's the number right here. So once again, we can drag these cells down and they will repopulate. They will populate these ones with the formula that we put in. So this is B4 minus C4, this is B5 minus C5. It figures out the pattern and it puts the formula in there. And once you drag this final one down, it makes all of these numbers correct because they're sort of referring to each other. So you end up with 245,768. This one's 190,415, 131, 187, 67,813, and $3 at the end. One thing I also did was they wanted this rounded to the whole number. So you select all the boxes and you right-click them. I'll show you how that's done. Right-click, and you can format the cells. When you get to this number, you just want to make sure it has 0 decimal places, and then it'll round it for you, and you don't have to do that thinking. So you just do number and put this decimal places down to 0 and click OK, and it will round all of these numbers for you. So that takes care of the first part of problem A, or the A part. The next part of the problem, let's minimize this, is prepare the journal entry related to the notes payable for December 31st. So what you're doing is the first place to start off is this cash line. You know that each payment is $72,557. So you put cash in there and you know it's coming out of your cash account because you're paying your mortgage. So putting that in there just starts you off, you know, you're losing cash right off the bat. And then these top two are going to be the mortgage principal. So that's your mortgage payable and your interest expense. And you got that from the numbers up here. This is for December 31st, 2017. So it's at the end of this year. So this this year one, because we got it issued on January 1st. So we've had a whole year of interest and our payment. So that takes care of that part. And then the third part is to come up with a balance sheet. Now this one was a little tricky because the reading material didn't really have anything in it to tell you what these categories should be. I had to kind of guess. I guessed wrong the first time. But it does tell you show the balance sheet presentation for this obligation for December 31st. So you're doing a partial balance sheet. And it says, once again, round the answers to 0 decimal place. So you want your current liabilities first and your long-term liabilities second. So I put that in. And then figuring out what to name these. I thought maybe one would be the first year interest or something, but it just accepts mortgage payable on both of them. What you're separating out here is the principal that you paid versus the rest of the loan, the additional principal that you have left to pay, because both of those go on your balance sheet as liabilities. One's a long-term liability, one's a current liability, because it's within this first year. The link to the text helped me a little bit. Let's see if I can bring that up. Oh, it's not letting me. Nice. Lovely. There's a small paragraph in this first link to text, and I don't know why it's not letting me bring that up. Maybe it's somewhere else. Nope. It did not show up on any of my screens. Okay. So the link to text tells you that because this is for December 31st, 2017, it's the balance sheet presentation. What you're basically looking at is what's left over of this $245,768. How much of that you're going to have to pay within the year, because this is where you're at December of 2017. How much of this is stuff you're going to pay off within the year, which is this amount right here, $55,353, and this is the amount that you're going to be left with in the mortgage for that year. So of this $245,000, it's broken down into this and this, if that makes sense. So we have $55,353 right here and $194,15 right here, and that comes to our total liabilities of $245,768. So yeah, that was slightly confusing. It brought you to the Appendix 7, or no, Objective 7 at the end when you do this link to text, which would be really handy if I could do it. But yeah, that's your answer. I hope this was helpful. It was kind of a tricky problem, so hopefully this helps you get through it. And let's see if I can find my tab to stop the recording, because, yeah, there you are. Okay, stop broadcast. Thank you. Bye.